Academic staff of University of Rwanda College of Education are the main beneficiaries of the project.
Yeah.
They are the key stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
They are the people for whom the project was developed and conceived.
Schadrac music.
On 21st May 2018, MasterCard Foundation signed an agreement with the University of Rwanda to implement Leaders in Teaching Initiative LIT project. This is in an effort to strengthen teacher education at University of Rwanda College of Education. Leaders in Teaching Initiative project aims to build the capacity of academic staff and pre-service teachers. Its activities are divided into 4 components coordinated by URCE lecturers. These components are research, CBC, PRACTICUM and ICT. LIT project has 4 core objectives. To strengthen the capacity of URCE to provide pre-service teacher training on Rwanda's competence-based curriculum, CBC, through needs-based training for academic staff. To provide practicum opportunities for pre-service teachers to allow them to put theory into practice and strengthen the mentorship and support they receive from URCE academic staff. To strengthen the integration of ICT in teaching and learning, providing training in the use of smart classroom technology, and supporting the development of digital content for online and branded courses. To support academic staff to strengthen their research skills through tailored training, academic exchange, and opportunities to undertake research on secondary education themes through competitive research funding. These 7 short videos focus on LIT project achievements, challenges faced in its implementation, and strategies to address them. Speakers are the key players in the project, namely Professor Wensisira Sinzabarirwa, who is the academic lead and the principal investigator, as well as the coordinators of the 4 project components, Associate Professor Eugene Ndabaga, Professor Alfonso Rwabayeho, Dr. Philoteri Ntawiha, and Dr. Matthias Nduwingoma. In particular, the 2 last part of the videos focus on ICT equipment and materials donated by the project to Nyagatare campus and UR Rukara campus. Speakers are Mr. Principe Chamake, who is the acting director of ICT services at UR Nyagatare campus, and Mr. Maswe Gasani, the Director of ICT Services at UR Rukara campus.
The project is most importantly capacity building. Capacity building program. Actually, I like to say that academic staff, academic lecturers of University of Rwanda College of Education are the main beneficiaries of the project.
Yeah.
They are the key stakeholders.
Mm-hmm.
They are the people for whom the project was developed and conceived.
Schadrac music.
In the LIT project, I am serving as the academic lead of the project, but also the principal investigator of the project.
Can you please tell us about the origin of this project?
The project was created in 2018, but even before, we applied for a grant which was advertised by MasterCard Foundation, and we were asked to write a proposal. We were a team of academic staff appointed by the principal, and we worked on the proposal. The proposal went to MasterCard Foundation, and because it was a competitive grant, we were successful. Then we were awarded the funds in 2018, and we started implementing the project. I wish to say that it was not given as such. We have competed with other people, and we were successful.
Other people means Rwandans or expatriates?
Yeah, it was a national, international advert. It was not only for Rwanda, but also for international expertise.
Can you please tell us members of the team that contributed to elaboration of that project?
Yeah, at the beginning there were some members who have not even been, who have not continued to be in the implementation team because they have left maybe the college. But most of them were retained as the members to implement the project. Can you cite like Professor Eugene Dabaga, who is in charge of research, Dr. Matthias Duingoma, who is in charge of ICT, Dr. Alfonso Gabayeho, in charge of CBC, and you have also Dr. Filote Nawiha, who is in charge of PRACTICUM. When I say that I am the academic lead, I am really leading this team of 4 people, and I am the 5th member of the academic staff.
Okay. When you elaborated this project,
Yes.
What are the objectives you assigned to it?
Yeah, the project is most importantly capacity building. Capacity building program. It means that we intend the project intends to build the capacity of academic staff members. It means all permanent, why not even a part-time URC lecturers are the beneficiaries of the program. It means that they have to be trained and empowered with the knowledge, skills, and attitude in the core areas of the project, meaning CBC, ICT, and research. You know that in Rwanda we have adopted the competence-based curriculum at the secondary school level, and we are preparing the teacher to implement this CBC in secondary school. It means that our lecturers need to be empowered in CBC so that they can in turn also embed the CBC approaches and methodologies in the daily teaching practices, so that our student teachers are prepared to implement the CBC approach at secondary school level, because we are preparing secondary school teachers. And in ICT, you know that the ICT is a tool for teaching and learning. So this is why also our academic staff need to be empowered in the ICT, so that they can also integrate ICT in their teaching and learning activities. And our students also, as future teachers, they are empowered with these ICT technologies so that they can implement also the ICT while after graduation, while in secondary schools. As for research, you know that research is there to inform our teaching and learning activities. And we like to say that you either publish or perish.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a culture, research is a culture at university. We have to train our lecturers to how to publish, how to write grants, competitive grants, but most importantly, also after having conducted research, especially in CBC and related areas, they can in turn inform their daily teaching and learning activities. These are the three focus areas. The fourth is practicum. It has been like an innovative approach. We are piloting at the College of Education. We don't have to wait for 4 years so that our student teachers are they get in touch with the realities where they are going to work upon graduation. So starting from the very first year, we need to give opportunities our students, teachers, to get in touch with the schools, to interact with the regular teachers there, and to know the realities which are there, the classroom, to discuss with the teachers, and even not only they are observing the regular teachers, how they are teaching, but also they are given opportunities also to prepare lessons and deliver and facilitate them so that when they will go for school attachment, they have been prepared for it. This could alleviate the stress of the first contacts with the real classroom during the school attachment.
What do you do as academic lead?
You know, the project is first of all an academic project. I mentioned the area that it is a capacity building project, meaning that whatever we do is first of all to improve teaching and learning.
Exactly.
Yeah, but when we are preparing the program, the action plan for the project, most importantly, it is being done by the coordinators of the 4 areas I mentioned, meaning CBC, meaning ICT, practicum and research. It means that to develop the academic, the action plan by the coordinators, this exercise is being done through my coordination. That I am there to coordinate the activities of the project on the academic area, academic side. But as you mentioned also, we have a part of administration composed of 4 people, a coordinator, an accountant officer, a monitoring and evaluation officer, and an administration and logistic officer. So these are full-time staff of the project, and they are based in the SPIU. It means that they are there to support implementing the academic part, the academic side, the academic activities of the project, which are being prepared under my coordination.
You were once heard saying that LIT project is for URC academic staff and by URC academic staff. What did you want to mean here?
It was during a workshop, if I don't mind.
Dear participants, you are lecturers, colleagues, you are our main stakeholders. You are the key beneficiaries of this project. It is a capacity building project, and the whole idea is to train URC lecturers.
Actually, I like to say that academic staff, academic lecturers of University of Rwanda-College of Education are the main beneficiaries of the project.
Yeah.
They are the key stakeholders. Mm-hmm. They are the people for whom the project was developed and conceived. Mm-hmm. Meaning that they are the first beneficiaries of the project because they are the people who will be trained. Mm-hmm. In the CBC, yeah, in the research, in the ICT, so that in turn, as I have said, they can also deliver or implement this, what they are skilled, the knowledge, the skill, the attitude they have gained in the everyday lessons with the student teachers. But I may continue saying that though they are the main beneficiaries of the project, the first beneficiaries, the student teachers also will benefit from the project because the lecturers will teach them implementing what they have learned in their trainings in CBC, ICT, and research. And then afterwards, the ultimate beneficiaries of the project will be the children, the secondary school students, the learners at secondary school level. Because remember that the core mission of the college is to train secondary school teachers who will go and teach the learners at the secondary school level. It means that the ultimate goal or the outcome of the project is to contribute to the quality of education in Rwanda, to contribute to the quality of teaching and learning at the secondary school level.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the issues we are addressing through this project, which we really appreciate, is build the capacity for our staff in terms of research. URCE, like any other academic institution, one of the key objectives is research. You cannot talk about an academic institution without talking about research. Much as our key issue here is to teach, but you cannot teach without being informed by research.
Dear Prof. Ndabaga, as a research coordinator of MasterCard Foundation LITI project, what is your specific role there?
The key role that I play in this project is all about capacity building for our lecturers, both junior, senior, and advanced. So the key issues here is to make sure that our lecturers, as I said, in different categories, they advance, they enhance their capacities in terms of carrying out research. And when we talk about research, we mean research at different levels, national and global. And again, we are focusing on issues of competitive grant writing, whereby we want to make sure that our staff have the capacity to compete in terms of writing or applying for big projects, but also in terms of writing peer-reviewed articles that will be published in peer-reviewed journals. So all the issues we are addressing through this project, which we really appreciate, is build the capacity for our staff in terms of research. Yeah, so for that, that's my key role.
What has been done so far?
So far, in spite of COVID-19 hindrances, we have managed to award about 2 grants. That's what I mean by 2, that's the shifts. One grant was awarded to about 7 grantees to carry out different researches. We have also awarded another shift of about 80 grants for our lecturers to carry out different researches. What I mean by different researches, that's from social sciences to natural sciences or applied sciences. But the key idea here is not only to win these grants, but along the process of carrying out or conducting these researches, it is punctuated by short trainings. When they apply, we have also short programs or short workshops to train them how to write competitive grants. And even when they present results at different levels, we include again various issues in terms of training, in terms of writing, producing papers that will be, of course, coming from those researchers, so that every activity we do is punctuated by training, to polish their skills in terms of research.
Do you still have more grants to offer?
There are more yet to come, because as I said, we are very thankful to MasterCard Foundation. We still have some money to carry out different researches. But again, we are waiting something yet to be done, an international workshop on training of our staff, all of them actually. We have academic staff who are close to 160. They will all be trained in competitive grant proposal writing, and even including the skills in writing international articles. So that international part of it, or that training, is yet to come. Because as I said earlier, that was a little bit sabotaged by COVID-19 pandemics that did not allow us to cooperate, to work with our international colleagues from University of Rwanda, from Canada. So they are yet, the MOU is already signed, so we are waiting for them to come and join us so that we can have that international workshop on grant writing skills.
What is your envisaged impact of this project and its activities on the Rwandan society?
I say it's enormous. The advantage is very heavy, because remember, URCE, like any other academic institution, one of the key objectives is research. You cannot talk about an academic institution without talking about research. Much as our key issue here is to teach, but you cannot teach without being informed by research. You cannot teach just from a theoretical perspective alone. You have to be informed by research. So the more skills and experiences our lecturers acquire, the more they will become better lecturers, the more they become advantageous to our society in terms of carrying out consultancies, writing papers, policy reviews, and policy contribution to the Rwandan society. So the impact and the advantage is enormous.
Let us assume that you are asked to select 2 or 1 important research project that has been published. Which one would you choose, and if there is any, on which criteria would you base your selection?
In the first place, we have not yet published any findings, because the first shift that we awarded the grant, they are now finalizing their work, and one of the final deliverables is to publish their findings.
Oh, sorry.
So we are yet to see the publication part of it. However, to go to the issue of the one which I would prefer, for me, all my life is academic. So I cannot say I prefer this, I don't prefer that. They're all important. Because for me, I don't want to be biased in terms of I would go for natural sciences, I would go for ICT. All researches are important because, as you asked me earlier, it's all about developing our society. And the society is not developed only by one area of academic. All areas, social sciences, natural sciences, ICT, they are all important to any society. So I wouldn't go in terms of I prefer this because of this, No. What we are aiming at is excellence in terms of research production and the skills, high skills in carrying out research.
How do you work with your Directorate of Research?
In the first place, we've got, our university is managed through decentralization. We've got University of Rwanda. Under University of Rwanda, there are specialized colleges. So there is a Directorate of Research at the headquarters. But under the colleges, we've got also the Directorate of Research. So whatever we do, any idea we come up, any grant we acquire, we do it in collaboration with the headquarters. Okay? And on top of that, that's why we've got SPIU, that is a single implementation unit for all projects, so that they are managed in one place. But even SPIU manages projects through the headquarters. So with that, we make sure that the quality of research and the project management are guaranteed, so that whoever gives us any grant is assured of the way we are going to implement and manage those grants. So we are using decentralized approaches to manage our research.
Do you have any further comment in line with your role?
Something I would add on is to assure our colleagues internationally and locally that University of Rwanda and its different colleges, we are very much interested and we are very much ready to make sure that research becomes a very important and key component of our work. Because as I said, today we talk about evidence-based implementation. You cannot teach without having evidence from the field, from the people, from all over the different corners of life. So research is a key component in the University of Rwanda day-to-day activities.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome.
I think so, even though there was COVID, we did not stop activities because there is those plans, there was those kind of writing, publication, there was training for collaborating with the other partners like AIMS or the Laterite. So we never stopped our activities, by the way. As in a teaching program or project has 4 components. So I am leading one of the components, namely strengthening URC academic staff to embrace the philosophy of competence-based curriculum in education, with extension to other higher institutions through various training.
How would you go about that section?
Okay, thank you. The section is, as I said, the grant, the ideology of it is enhancing URC staff in particular, and academic staff in higher institution, other higher institution.
to embrace the competence principles of competence-based curriculum. What do I mean? There are different activities to achieve that objective. First of all, we have to train URC staff to teach through competence-based curriculum so that they can also be model pre-service trainers, our pre-service trainees, to also embrace competence-based curriculum once they are graduated. We don't stop at college level only. We go for higher institutions through the program, postgraduate certificate for teaching in higher learning institution. So we have like two main activities: training URC staff and training academic staff in a other higher institution of learning.
When did you start implementing that section?
Okay, like any other component of the LIT project, we started in 2000, and the project must last 5 years. So we started in 2018, and we are supposed to complete by 2023. When we started, we actually have some achievement, by the way.
And what are they?
Yes, part of achievement is we conducted research on need assessment on URC staff to look into what they need to really be competent teachers so that they can train competent future teachers as well. That I conduct that assessment was analyzed. We have data on their needs. The next step is to train the whole URC staff. It is planned to train the whole URC staff on competence-based curriculum. What do they need to do, how they can teach through problem solving skills, how they can teach through project-based teaching, and so on and so on.
And so, how many lecturers have we been trained so far?
So far, we did not yet train any, because I will mention it in later when I talk about challenges. First of all, let's complete with the achievement. So apart the assessment need, we have developed, reviewed, definitely it is a review of the program for postgraduate certificate in teacher learning and higher education. Initially, it had 3 modules, and it was general, it was broad. So for us, we said, okay, let's focus on domain-based training, whereby you define domain different subject, scientific subject content. Let's, for example, we grouped into 3 domains where we have STEM, where we have public health and medicine, and we have another component of social science. So in total, we have developed 5 modules, whereby 3 modules are general, cross-cutting, but 2 are specific. And another thing we reviewed and we introduced is the change of assessment, whereby in the past the assessment was based on paper writing, but this time the assessment will be on portfolio and practices. So they will have part of practices and they produce a portfolio. So those are key changes which happened, which we did in this program. Another achievement we conducted also, staff will be trained, but we shall not stop there. For sustainability purpose, we expect to select 10 dynamic staff who will continue to mentor others on implementation of CBC. So that is what we call champions, CBC champions. So it means after the 3-whole training, those 10 champions will continue to mentor other peers. So that is part of our achievement.
Are those 10 champions in place, or they are yet to be nominated?
They will not be nominated. They will be selected from the training, because we shall start training all. Then the best, maybe the best motivated, will be selected as champions.
I see.
That was the approach. The old approach in the proposal was to train 10 champions first, then they go to train others. But due to COVID-19, it was not possible to go through the training of 10. Rather, we are going to train the whole group, then select champions.
Okay. Are there any challenges faced in the implementation of activities on your action plans?
Yeah, sure. We encountered some challenges or some barriers to complete on due time our activities as planned. Even as I said, we changed slightly how we can proceed. The most challenge was with the COVID-19.
Yes.
When it came in, we expected it to stop much earlier, but it didn't. So we could not really conduct our training. Because our training was also subject, learning is a process, and it is a long life learning. We were not expecting to have ourselves to be self-sufficient, to be able to train ourselves. We wanted to hear also from the academicians, what do they think about competence-based curriculum. So in our plan, there was involvement of external academicians during the training process. Now, with COVID-19, it was not possible to involve those international, but we changed the methodology where we developed a more online approach. Actually, we are in a good relationship with University of Toronto to support us in the training of CBC champions and the whole staff. Today, we have agreed upon on the module training program. What is remaining is to implement, and we are expecting to implement from this August.
Will it be face-to-face training or online training?
We are expecting to mix both. We are planning to mix both, face-to-face and online, but with focus on online training, because we are not, with the experience of COVID-19, we encourage or we put ahead the online training. But though it will be online, we are organizing our staff here as face-to-face, where we shall sit together. We may favor the conference, like the conference, video conference, so that where they are together, when they are given activities, they can organize small groups, discussion, face-to-face, but our trainers will be in Toronto.
Apart from the training by University of Toronto, what else are you planning to do in this period when the COVID-19 pandemic is likely to be slowing down?
I think so. Even though there was COVID, we did not stop activities, because there is those plans, there was those kind of writing, publication, there was training, collaborating with the other partners like AIMS or Laterit. So we never stopped our activities, by the way. But during this period again, we are developing the material. Training material takes sometimes, So now, in the next couple of months, we shall now enroll our colleagues, our peer colleagues, our colleagues from the College of Education in the training, in the actual training. So by the end of the training, they will now generate some data, some evidence that the training took place, whereby, they have been given computers, and one of the components of implementing of competence-based curriculum is the integration of ICT in our teaching. So by the end of the training, they will demonstrate that they use those computers in the teaching and learning process. So it will be that is where the 10 champions will play. The champions will play a key role in supporting other colleagues to integrate the ICT teaching and learning process.
Why do training in CBC for URC lecturers who are supposed to be mastering education, including these CBC?
Yeah, you are right. If we say training, it does not mean educate, or does not mean we teach. And as you know, learning is a process, long life learning. Whatever we do, we have to learn. And education is dynamic. So that is why you don't know to say we are training from scratch. It is like refreshing people's mind. So that is what we mean in training. Otherwise, every day is a learning experience. So we need now to sit down. It's like to sit down and see how we can improve our teaching. To improve our teaching, supporting our students, future teachers. So that is how with dynamism of a dynamic environment, we have also to be dynamic as well. So it doesn't mean URC staff are empty or they don't know what is a CBC or they are not a good implementers. But there is always a room for improvement. Yeah.
Is there any other thing you want to add to what we said about your component?
Yes, of course I have to add something because though I am focusing on one component, but the four components are interrelated. Because when we are talking about competence-based curriculum, there is implementation of it. Like there is another object, another colleague in charge of coordinating practicum or school practice, so that we see what we are learning, we are implementing it in school. So there is also another component, as I said, technology. We have to integrate technology in our teaching to allow our students to be more competent. So in general, and then in brief, the CBC component, which I am in charge is focusing on aspects of teaching and learning. So, and again, enable people to keep always reflecting and thinking about the principles of competence-based curriculum. So that if you are preparing your more teaching, you think, what am I going to teach? How is it? How can I organize my teaching? So my future teachers, we are training future teachers, can learn from me how to implement the competence-based curriculum. So actually, what we see from the ground, some teachers are still confusing group work and competence-based, so which are completely different. So we have to move from where we are to really embrace the philosophy of competence-based curriculum, because it is a big philosophy. So we may not say, okay, we are good enough to implement a CBC when we are not at the end of the day. So we have to still learn and learn.